Hi, I'm Mike from Michael's Motor Cars, located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and today we have a really cool, honest-to-God barn find that we came across. Come on over and take a look at it. This car is a 1962 Lancia Flaminia convertible. It is one of the cars. The body is by Touring. It is a Superleggero construction. It's all aluminum body. These cars are cool cars. There are not a lot of them left in the world, and to find and come across one of these is kind of unusual. We originally found out about this car. It has been sitting in a barn in upstate New York. Luckily, it was in very dry storage inside the barn. The fellow that we bought the car from bought it in 1970, and we have the sales receipt from 1970 when he purchased the car. He drove it only about 4 years or so, maybe 4 or 5 years, because the last inspection sticker on the car for New York is 1974, which is still on the windshield. And it was a running, driving car, which he parked in 1974. So literally 50 years ago, this car went into the barn for barn storage. And we have we'll insert a couple photographs of when we retrieved the car. It was quite a bit of work to get this out of the barn. So what we have is a car that I think is obviously a good candidate for a full restoration. Could be a parts car. I think it's a little too good to be a parts car, but that of course is the new owner's decision. So let's start on the car. It does have, this is the earlier version of the cars. It is the single carburetor engine, the slightly smaller V6 engine. But the things I want to point out on the car, it's a very complete car. It's all original, it has been not molested, and it's largely intact. We do have, all the plates are on the car. The original plate here, Lancia Flaminia. We have the numbers over here. We have the metal badge here, and they're, of course, all correct and original. We have the original brake booster, all the fuses, all the electrical system. It's just nice to see a car like this that it wasn't screwed up. It literally was just parked. We have the shutters on the radiator. Lancias were always very technically complicated, advanced cars, so there's a lot of stuff on this car that's fascinating. So, and we'll take a lot of pictures of all this engine compartment. The engine is currently frozen. It does not turn over. We'll let you know. If it does free up, we'll let you know. We currently are soaking the cylinders with transmission fluid, and we'll see. If it frees up, I'll put that in the auction. But right now, it's being sold as a non-operating frozen motor, so of course that would need to be redone. But there's a lot of originality everywhere on the car, and you'll see in the trunk also the original hood struts are there, and they're functioning properly. It is missing the front chrome piece that should be right here in the air intake. That is missing. But when you look at the details on the car, the headlight bezels are intact and they're very nice. The front turn signal lenses are fine, as is the chrome surround. Lenses are usable. The grille area, the grille surround, the grille, all of that is very usable to be restored or used the way it is. The body itself is largely not damaged. As I mentioned earlier, it's all aluminum. It appears to be very solid the whole way around. It doesn't look like a car that had a particularly hard life earlier. We will take a lot of pictures of the chassis up on the lift. It does have some rust in the floors. It's all original floors, but there is some corrosion. And there's also, you will see there is some rust in the jacking points. So in the outriggers of the frame, particularly, I think it's this left rear one, that would need to be rebuilt underneath the car. And you'll see that in the chassis photos. So coming along the car, and when you think about restoring a car, it's all the hard to find bits and pieces that are important. The windshield trim surround is excellent, very good condition. The glass is good condition. There's a little bit of wiper mark here that would probably polish out. The wipers, the pedestals for the wipers are there. All these little details are here on this car. Coming along to the interior of the car, it's of course an original interior. I was really surprised at the condition of this trim. And I'll show you both door sills. The stainless aluminum here is beautiful. All along here, All the screws are original, going inside to the footwell. All of that is in great shape. And so many times that doesn't make it when the cars are sitting. The dash top is excellent. The stitching here is still intact and straight. So somehow it's survived quite nicely. All the instrumentation is here. We have the tachometer, we have the speedometer. All the small gauges are intact, and actually the faces are really nice and in good condition overall. We have all of the original knobs going along here. The Lancia, the ignition switch, all of that is here. You can see this one, we just have this sitting in here to show you, but the gauge is intact, steering wheel's intact. It's all the original interior, so the leather is all here to use as patterns to have it all replaced, presumably. Also, in the doors themselves, we have the glass, which is fine. We have all the mechanism, the winding mechanism, the latch mechanism. It's all in there and quite restorable. So it'd be a fun project to do. It does have the remains of a convertible top, which are here. Again, it's there to use as a pattern, but it does have all of its latches and hardware. It's all there. Going along the rear of the car, relatively straight lines along the car. On the rear, it has its rear, all the lenses are good. The chrome would need to be re-chromed. It's intact, it's not cracked or broken, but it would need to be re-chromed. The car did have an impact in the rear. I talked to the owner that I bought the car from. I think that's when he parked it. He got rear-ended, and that's, I think, when the car got parked. So this needs to be repaired, obviously. In the trunk, both struts are working. We will take pictures underneath the trunk floor showing you the spare, which is housed under there. There is damage along here. This would need to be rebuilt. And we do have the original metal piece that would have gone here, and this would need to be rebuilt or replaced. So this is where some work would have to be done. And then coming along the right side of the car, it's just like the driver's side. Interesting lines on these cars. I think they were pretty cool cars in period. And they've come around. They're just neat Italian cars. The right side door is just like the driver's door in that we have the glass. We have all the mechanism, the window winding mechanism, the opening mechanism. We have one set of door handles and window cranks. And same thing as the other one. All this trim is really nice. It's not damaged at all and would polish up beautifully. Can also show you, here's the floor of the car, and it is original. It does have some rust underneath, obviously, but it's a great starting point to restore the car. It hasn't been messed up. It hasn't been screwed up over all the years. The glove box is intact. And again, this condition of this top pad is amazing. We also have, that comes with the car, 2 chrome bumpers. The front bumper is relatively nice. The rear bumper has had some work done to it, so that should be redone. But the front one's in fairly nice condition. There's a little bit of corrosion here, but they would be ready to be re-chromed. We have 4 pretty lousy hubcaps, but they came with the car. And then we have some miscellaneous things. There's a little Flaminia book. This is about the brakes in the car. We have an original jack and one of the bumper overriders right here. We will be selling the car with a title. We will have a bill of sale and also a title for the car. We are working with a very old New York registration on the car, which is what New York does with old cars. We'll be turning that into a Michael's Motor Cars Pennsylvania title. So the car will be sold with a bill of sale and a PA title. And what a fun project. And I did mention at the beginning, this is a smaller engine V6. It's the original early car with the single carburetor. It's a 4-speed manual transmission car. And what a neat, fun project. We will be selling it in a no reserve auction. So this car will be sold. I sincerely hope it goes to somebody who will take care of it, bring it back to a running life. It's been waiting 50 years in a barn for this moment. So hopefully somebody fun will buy it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us or contact us. We'll be happy to provide any specific photos or specific information about the car as needed. So thanks for taking the time, and looking at our very special Lancia.